We're going to take some time today to give you some very important information about your safety, the safety of your home and your motor vehicle, and also tell you about a new program the Addison Police Department is rolling out using new technology and going out to our community and asking for assistance in helping keep our town much safer. Joining me today is Officer Omar Perkal from the Crime Prevention Unit of the Addison Police Department. We're going to be talking about a new program called Block Watch, and also, as I said, through cameras and new technology that a lot of people have on their homes now, I guess.
Yes.
Omar, this could also help be a crime-fighting tool for the betterment of the community. So thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
There have been some issues recently, and this is kind of a good educational time here about residential burglaries and burglaries to motor vehicles.
Yes.
What's interesting is a lot of these burglaries, my understanding, are happening in neighborhoods, and it's not just one home. Very often you're talking about 4, 5, 6 homes down the street, and that could be very alarming and very disturbing to people who live in a neighborhood. Is that the typical characteristic you're seeing right now of these unfortunate incidents, as people are hitting from one home right to another and cars right down the line?
Yes, that is the trend that we've seen, and specifically for this trend that we saw very recently, within a 12-hour period, we had 13 residential burglaries and also burglar motor vehicles. And you know, I'd be lying if I told you that I wasn't at least a little disheartened by the fact that all of them, not most of them, but all of them were done because of unlocked doors to vehicles and unlocked doors to the victims' homes. And self-admittedly, you know, all of the victims had said that their doors were unlocked, and which is something that we knew already because there wasn't any forced entry.
Right. So people can, these perpetrators can get in easily, get what they want, and I think in the case here, what we're talking about is people can get in and get out quickly. They don't spend a lot of time, and it's basically an open invitation to a burglar for the home or the car.
It is, because crime is a situation of opportunity, and in today's day and age, it's not like in the movies where, you know, bad guys will creep into a home and look at somebody sleeping and then just creep around and see what they can get. Although I'm not saying that does not happen. For the most part, however, offenders just don't want to be bothered. They're in, they're out in a few seconds, and then they move on to the next home. So if there is a home that is unlocked or a vehicle that's unlocked, that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the block, because then that person, that offender, would recognize that, well, if one home is like this, then the rest is going to be that way as well. And that certainly was the case very recently for those 13 homes and vehicles in the central part of our town that were broken into.
Is time of year a big issue? For example, in the winter months, people might be warming up their cars in the morning or running, you know, back and forth, and they may not be outside to keep an eye on things. Is that a problem, or is this something we're talking about year-round? We need to keep reminding people, don't let yourself become a victim of a crime.
A little bit of both. I would caution anyone to think, or the audience to think, that it will only happen in the wintertime because people, you know, they warm up their cars, and so that's where that crime of opportunity happens. I do want everyone to be vigilant throughout the entire year. So that does mean if you're going to warm up your car, let's say it's hot outside and you just want the air conditioner to run. Well, I would caution people doing that. At the very least, use 2 sets of keys. One to start the engine, get the air conditioner on or the heater on, and then lock it, and then have another set of keys to do that. Because again, it's a crime of opportunity. An offender hears an engine running, they're going to think, hey, there's nobody in there. Let's do that. But I do want the audience to realize that this happens all year round, and we need to be cautious with that.
And when it happens in a particular neighborhood, then you know, in some cases, like as you mentioned, there could be several on one street.
Yes.
Is that what we're talking about here, where the offender is just going from house to house, or working in a team sometimes?
Yes.
You know, what's been the study on that opportunity? It must be pretty apparent that if they can find one, they can find several, as you mentioned.
Yes, so very often, according to the crimes that we've had and what I've researched, is particularly in this town, I can't speak for others, but particularly in this town, it isn't necessarily a sporadic residential burglary or burglary motor vehicle in one neighborhood one week and then another neighborhood in another. It's a string that occurs. And again, this was a situation that recently did happen. As a matter of fact, last night, we also had a string of burglary motor vehicles in the northern part of our town. And again, it was burglary motor vehicles, and the method of operation, the MO, was similar. It was unlocked doors. So there was no broken glass on the ground, in the lots, in the driveways. It was unforced entry, unfortunately, because the doors were unlocked.
Yeah. Now see, we always think, this isn't going to happen to me, that happened to
Exactly.
somebody else, it can't happen to me,
Right.
I'm too smart for something like that.
Right.
In reality, these are invitations to offenders.
Absolutely.
To just come in and do it. Now, what the police department is going to do, just rolling out now, to aid in combating this problem and hopefully being able to find people, is you're rolling out a new program, the Block Watch program.
Correct, yes.
And it uses technology, which is
Yes,
really
it
kind of a
does.
cool thing, because a lot of people are getting tuned into this, and we're talking about these small-sized surveillance cameras that are typically attached to either a web-based program or a app on a smart device, and you could monitor, your home. We see advertising commercials about it all the
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
You're asking the public, hey, you know what, we may need to take a look at that if something were to happen in the neighborhood.
Absolutely. So similar to Neighborhood Watch, where we ask the neighborhood and our residents to look out for certain crimes and then call in if they notice anything. This is not taking the place of it, but taking it a step further where you don't even need to be home. So if there is an instance where there's a burglary of a motor vehicle or residential burglary, and then we know of a home that has security cameras outside, there might be potential that that their footage would catch someone walking by or even scouting their residence. And so the Block Watch program is where we would ask these residents who do have outdoor security cameras to sign up with us. And there's nothing that we would, we wouldn't take over the surveillance, and we wouldn't, ask for an actual feed, a live feed
Right.
on our end. We would just say, hey, you have registered with us. There's a crime that occurred in your block, and can we see if your footage caught anything?
The Block Watch program is on now. What they're asking is to have residents who have these cameras on their properties register. And the way you go about registering is you can go right onto the police department's website, and there's a section called Block Watch right there, an online form. In fact, it's very easy. You can fill out all the information, submit it, and that way the police department simply knows that you have this technology available. Or you can actually get a copy. This happens to be a copy of the application form itself. It asks the same questions as if you were signing up for it online. It'd like to know, obviously, who you are and where you live and so on, the number of cameras at your location, and what is the camera view, front of the residence, the back, the driveway, and how long would you be able to keep the footage? Because the point is, anything could be helpful. Some people might think, well, I don't have a picture of the person's face straight on, whatever it might be. Anything might be helpful in the investigation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, we do have footage of who we believe are individuals who have committed some of these crimes that we're talking about, and it is because of the Block Watch program.
Very good. You can also have a decal that would go on your door that says the area is under video surveillance and that you're in touch with the police department. For more information, Omar, who should they contact, going online or just giving a call to the police department?
Please visit our website at addisonpoliceillinois.org. You could contact any crime prevention officer, myself, or any officer at 630-543-3080. And obviously, if there is something in progress, then we would ask the public to dial 911.
Right. So please take advantage of this. Be safe. Lock those doors. Listen to some of the reminders from Officer Bruchal, and make sure that your home and your property are safe, and check into the Block Watch program through the Addison Police Department. Officer Bruchal, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for your time.